and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Samuel Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
All right, we're back with another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, episode 110. And this one, I don't know why we decided to do this, but we're going to talk Saturday Night Live characters. I gave a list of a few. The ones I picked on mine were generally just like original characters, not like parody people and stuff. But so I don't know what you guys have. It's a mix. But you know.
No, I don't think none of us pick parodies. I think we all pick straight up characters.
So you go,
yeah.
So
do a lot of like recurring.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All recurring original characters. But yeah, man, the show's been on for 47 years. 1975 it started, and you know, it was the start of a lot of careers for you know, Bill Murray, Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Jimmy Fallon, Will Ferrell, Tina Fey, you know.
Yeah.
Chris Rock. I mean, geez, Kristen Wiig is one of my most recent favorites. I like.
Yeah.
So many of them, you know, and you know, people criticize the show over the past, you know, 15, 20 years. It's not the same as it used to be, but you know, it's always evolving, and you know, it has some good years, some bad years, and you know, some comedians stick out more than others, but you know, I don't watch it as much as I used to. I turn it on once in a while. Like if they have a good guest, like I watched it. I always like when Dave Chappelle's on. He was a guest like last month, and you know, when he's on, it's always good. I was a big fan of the Chappelle show, and it's probably the closest thing you're going to get.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, some of the characters I liked just because I used to like their type of comedy, like Kristen Wiig, I really liked.
Yeah, she was good, and she was later. She, you know.
Yeah,
she was a little later. Well, later for us. Yeah,
Chris Farley, you know, just like real. I don't know what you call that type of comedy. Just like real animated, over the top kind of comedians. They're the ones that I always liked. You know, like immature fucking goofballs. You know.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't watch it nowhere near as much as I used to. I catch it once in a while. Last time, same thing. Chappelle was on, so I watched it, and it was pretty freaking funny. So it's hard for me to judge the new stuff because I haven't really watched enough of it, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm a little out of the loop with the, you know, the new skits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're just going to talk about some stuff that we know, some stuff we maybe don't know, and don't, you know, we remember, but we don't remember exactly too much about the character, but we remember the character. So, Damo, who want to start off with?
Actually, let me look up my list real quick. I have it right here. Well, let's go with one of them I liked, and when every time I get pretty banged up, I always I put the song on, and I got to do the imitation if someone is there to do it with me, is the Roxbury guys.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
hilarious.
Man, it was Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan, man. Those guys like used to fucking crack me up. And then when the movie came out, man, I was all about it. I was there like the first weekend and opened up, and what a goofy ass movie. But
guess
man,
what,
those
though?
guys are just like ridiculous.
Guess what, Dane? That's one of the few Saturday Night Live movies that I actually like. I like that one. That's fucking a fun movie.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
That one's pretty
funny. I mean, if you remember in the 90s, they had Wayne's World, then there was a string of like bad ones. There was a Pat movie, there was the Coneheads. There might have been maybe one or two others, but
so like the Coneheads, weren't they? They were like a skit. They were like an early skit, though, right?
Yeah, but I think because of the success from Wayne's World and everything,
it came out later.
I guess.
Movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you know.
I think it came out after Wayne's World, right?
It did, yeah. It was like 93 or something, or 94 maybe, but
you know what? I don't remember too much about that movie, even if I don't even remember if I even saw it, tell you the truth.
The only thing I definitely didn't see.
The only thing good about that was the Chili Pepper song.
Yeah,
or memorable, should I say.
Yeah.
Soul Squeeze.
Roxbury was one of my picks that I like.
I thought that was hilarious. Chaz Palminteri, and it was fucking hilarious. That movie was hilarious.
Yeah,
definitely a good skit.
Did you grab my ass?
Movie. We still use that. I said it to Joe Mount the other day. Last at practice, I said to Joe Mount the other day, rehearsal. He was like, "No, it wasn't me, Bert." I'm like, "Did you grab? It's all right, but did you grab my ass?" I still use it all the time. Fucking great
so
movie.
stupid.
It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Just I guess we could talk about Conan's for a second. You know, some of that humor, some of it was funny, and some of it was like it just never really did nothing for me. But the movie was just goofy. It was
Yeah, I didn't see the movie because I don't really remember the original skit, so there wasn't really, I didn't really have anything invested in it. I don't watch too many of the early
the 70s stuff.
episodes.
Yeah. So I know Jane Curtin, she was good, and she was in it. Dan Aykroyd was in it. I forget the other girl that was in it, but I mean, it was okay for what it was. But yeah, it's I mean, what else could you do with it? It is what it is, right?
Yeah. But I mean, they're legendary original.
Oh yeah,
characters. No doubt about that.
Definitely. Mike D, what you got?
Yeah, like it's weird because like I was never huge into Saturday Night Live, and I think like a lot of the early stuff I was too young and I missed it. And later on, it was kind of like Headbangers Ball was coming on, so I was always waiting for that. So I always kind of never really, caught the whole thing of Saturday Night Live. So there's not really too many of them that were memorable to me. I remember, like, what was it? Dana Carvey did the church lady.
Yeah, yeah.
And he would have like different guests on, and like, "Ooh, is that Satan?" or something like that.
Yeah. Could
that be Satan? And he did this like goofy little shuffle dance or something at the end.
Oh man,
I think did they make a movie of that? I'm almost sure they did.
I don't know.
There might have been talk of it. I don't think they did, but I know I definitely remember them talking about it. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't think there was. I'm looking it up. No, there wasn't.
It was pretty big, though. It was pretty big at one time.
It was.
That was huge back then.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with a throwback. So I don't know if either one of you is gonna remember this guy, but Father Guido Sarducci.
Yes,
I fucking love him. You both remember. I love. I mean, listen. The actor was Don Novello, chain smoking priest, fucking hilarious.
Was that like a real stick of his, like outside of Saturday Night Live?
It might have been.
Yeah,
it might have been.
I think so.
I mean,
because I could have sworn, like I used to see him on like venues and stuff like that as Guido Sarducci.
Probably, yeah,
right,
probably.
Yeah.
You figure between because back in the day, you don't expect a priest to be like that. The hat, the mustache, it was money. You know what I mean? And my favorite. I have a soft spot for the broken English stuff. I love it. I fucking love it. I just do. It's just hilarious. And he would say like obscene shit that you shouldn't be saying, I guess, Yeah, so I always kind of dug the Father Sarducci. How about you, Damo? What you got?
How about Nat X?
Ooh. Nat X, Chris Rock, right?
If I know
Chris Rock, yeah, it was like a Malcolm X type character, man. It was funny. Yeah, it was like, or early '90s, right at the when it was when the Malcolm X movie came out and everything. Right. I don't really remember too much of the skits, but I remember I always get a kick out of it. I haven't seen it in years, but that was definitely one of the ones that came to mind.
I just remember the afro and the dashiki. I remember that.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. Chris Rock's great, man. Yeah. What you got, Mike?
Remember, was it Hans and Franz?
Oh yeah.
We're here to pump you up.
Yeah.
And I did a little like wasn't that something like that? We're here to pump you up.
I think they even had Arnold on one time.
I think he was.
Yeah, well, they were like a parody of him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because Arnie was huge at that time.
That was like around. I'm thinking about Conan, Terminator.
Who was that? Dana Carvey and Kevin. Kevin, what's his
Kevin
Nealon. That's it. Yeah, he's pretty funny. Kevin Nealon's pretty funny.
He is.
Kevin Nealon's good.
Yeah, he's pretty underrated.
He was the news guy back then, if I remember, or later on. I think
he was. Yeah, the weekend guy. Yeah, the weekend update. Yeah, he was. I think he's pretty underrated. I always thought he was.
Yeah, he was always in good stuff. Like all them skits that he was always decent. So Mike went with Hans and Franz. Okay, how about let's go with the awkward but pretty damn funny Ed Grimley, Martin Short. You guys remember that?
Oh yeah,
I didn't get
yeah.
that one though. It was weird.
Just fucking weird.
Wasn't there a cartoon of him or something too?
I think there was.
They did do a cartoon. They did
Yeah,
do a cartoon, and he was.
They might even had toys out.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah,
it's funny. I remember the cartoon and toys, but I don't remember the skit too much.
Yeah, I don't remember too much. I remember it just being weird. Like I wasn't into it.
He was just like a nervous.
Might have been over my
mess,
head.
You know,
point.
He was a nervous kind of mental mess, and he used to say, "I must say," you know, fucking just stupid, funny shit. But matter of fact, when we were looking up this, I was looking up one of the episodes, and it's got he's trying to get on the Wheel of Fortune show, and there's a guy at the desk, and the guy's pretty much had enough with his life, and he's writing himself a suicide note or whatever, which is crazy considering all the crazy shit now. So he's pretty much opened the window. He's got a note on him, and the bell rings, and the secretary or the phone rings, and the secretary goes, so and so's here to see you about the audition of so and so. So he brings him in, and he's interviewing him, and he's going on and on about Pat Sajak. Oh, if Pat did this and Pat this and Pat that, it was fucking hilarious. And then he finally leaves. He goes, okay, yeah, we're gonna call you. We're gonna bring you in on the show. He leaves. He goes on the elevator, and he sees this guy on the elevator. As the elevator opens up, he's still talking about Pat Sajak and to this new guy. And as he's walking out, the guy jumps, I guess, from the building and lands on him. Then he gets up and goes, let's have a cup of coffee. And that's fucking weird. But like skitsy, like a total skitsy kind of, wearing his pants up to his fucking tits. You know what I mean? Fucking...
Yeah.
All right, Damon, what you got?
MacGruber.
I don't know if I remember that.
You don't remember?
I don't remember that.
Wait, was that was that the spinoff of MacGyver? Or no?
It was.
There was a movie of it, I think, a couple of years
that's what
ago.
I'm thinking about. I'm thinking of that. Thinking of that.
I guess I probably shouldn't have put it on there because it was sort of like an original character, but it was like a ripoff of MacGyver.
That's all right.
Yeah, well, a lot of these characters are
it was
it
was a parody of MacGyver. It was Will Forte. It was like the early mid 2000s. Basically, just like MacGyver, say there's like a time bomb, he's got 10 seconds, and like right in the middle of it, he goes on like these long tirades, and then like, and then Kristen Wiig is like his assistant. She was like, hurry up, MacGruber, 5 seconds. And then he's like, can you see that I'm getting ready? And he's getting ready to curse or something. And it shows like some big explosion or something, he never makes it in time or whatever. But yeah, it's basically a spoof of MacGyver. Man, that used to fucking crack me up though, MacGruber. And then they turned it into a movie.
Yeah. Okay, so that's where I knew something clicked. I couldn't remember. I remember the movie a little bit.
Yeah.
What you got, Mike?
This is probably one of my all-time favorites. I gotta go with Mr. Bill.
Which one was that?
Oh, you don't remember Mr. Bill?
The clay,
he's like this little clay.
Nah, I remember
like the crudely claymation doll. And he really didn't move or anything. And his nemesis was Mr. Hand. Mm-hmm. And Mr. Hand would come and like just do like different like mean things to him, like hit him with a hammer, smash him. But first, he usually did something nice, like would build him a house and then make the house collapse on him. You don't remember? And then like it always kind of ended with Mr. Bill going, "Oh no!"
Yeah, I totally remember it.
Wow, I
totally
stumped Damien.
Yeah, you got me on
dude.
that
You know it's weird. You know what reminds me of Mr. Bill? It's going to sound weird. When I look at an electric outlet, to me, I always think it's the Mr. Bill face. Got the 2 eyes in the hole.
I think I gotta look up Mr. Bill.
And who doesn't do drugs in this room?
Me, I don't do nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Bill. He's the electric socket.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you? You talk to your electric
I don't remember
sockets?
this.
I go, oh no.
Yeah, it's 88, 81, 82.
Do you remember it by looking
that was
at
early.
it?
Nah, man, not at all. I'm looking.
You don't
right
remember
at
the
it.
claymation? No, ding.
No.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, it would be like, in between the skits, they would play like that. Like kind of like the Gumby thing kind of was.
Right.
All right, guys, I got the delicious dish host. And it was Molly Shannon and if I say her name Geister, if I say her name right. And they were like kind of like passive aggressive, like talk show hosts, but they would say it like
Yeah.
in this, they'd say it all
Real
calm and
soft.
smooth, and
Yeah.
like yes, and
Yeah.
the best one, the one that's most memorable is the Alec Baldwin one with the sweaty balls. That was
Sweaty
fun.
balls.
Hey, they
Yeah.
made an ice cream about it. Come on.
Did they?
Yeah, I think Ben and Jerry's got sweaty
Ben and Jerry's?
balls. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. These guys remember that at all or no?
Yeah, definitely remember that.
I heard of the ice cream. I've never seen those skits.
You never seen that
Yeah,
skit?
yeah,
Oh, it's
they were
fucking
good.
great. Because they would
Yeah.
say like horrible kind of thing, but they would say it all like really nice and sweet, fucking
Yeah.
funny. What do you got, Damo?
How about Phil Hartman's unfrozen caveman lawyer?
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. Like these guys must have they must have done like a ton of drugs and just sat around like boardroom tables thinking these ideas,
Oh man, Phil Hartman was great. He was great.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember too much of him on Saturday Night Live. Like my experience with Phil Hartman was from News Radio.
Okay, so that was after. Yeah.
Yeah. Which was, he was only on like a couple of seasons of that, and then the show kind of went downhill after that.
Yeah, it's a shame, man, what happened to him. Jeez.
Crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, tragic.
Yep. What you got, Mike?
Do you remember who was it? Mike Myers, that character, Dieter. It was like this German
guy. Yeah.
Well, I am
Sprockets.
Dieter, and welcome to Sprockets. And then he would have like usually like the different guests of the show on, and
yeah.
he would ask him like these like
Dieter.
stupid questions, and then ask him to touch his monkey, and he had a little monkey with him. Would you like to touch my monkey?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. How about the Bronx Beat? You guys remember that at all? Bronx Beat ladies? Actually, it's not that long ago. It was Amy Poehler and Maya Rudolph. They're like two ladies from the Bronx, but they sound like almost like straight out of Goodfellas. We're like, yeah, they got the accent. Fucking hilarious.
I remember them.
I like it because it sounds like everybody I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it sounds like somebody's mother and aunt talking, and just talking shit on everybody, Like there was an episode where I don't know who the actress was, but she was on. She had like this low cut shirt, and they're like, they're talking about I guess their boobs because her boobs got big or whatever. They're like, this is coming to you at 3 double D or whatever. So it was like stupid stuff, but it was funny. But it's the way they talk. They did the accents pretty well, and it just kind of reminded me of people I know. What do you got, Damo?
Matt Foley, the inspirational speaker.
Chris Farley, yeah.
Chris Farley, man, that guy was fucking. He was hilarious. I remember the first time I saw that skit when it first, one of the first times they did it. And I was like, man, it was ridiculous. He shows up at the the kid's house, and he breaks a table, and
intense.
Fat guys on coke is a great thing. It just doesn't last long.
I know, right? Yeah, literally doesn't last long because their lives don't last long. But man, God. What an impression they made.
Like, I wonder if the first time, if he broke the table without like saying, I'm going to break the table. Did he just do it? Because they look shocked. At least one or two of them, you're like,
it had to be a trick table, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Nah, he's big enough to break that table.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Well, yeah, but you have to get it right.
I think he was like, fuck, I'm going through the table.
Yeah, it's probably like some prop table.
I am the table.
You ever see those IKEA tables, how cheap they are? I mean,
yeah. Chris Farley, for the limited time that he was around, it was all good stuff. It was all good stuff.
Well, we do know how easy it is to break tables, Albert.
Yes. Yeah. So okay, I guess we'll tell this story since Mike. Mike, I don't think I told Damien this one. So I got this table, like this coffee table in my house. It's kind of like an IKEA one. It was the wrong size, so I never got another one. I was supposed to get a bigger one. It just didn't happen yet. So, coffee table, whatever. And there's a fan and a light, and it was hot the other day. And I was like, man, it's fucking hot. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm short of shit. So I was like, instead of me getting a chair or a ladder, fucking, I'll stand on the table.
Okay.
1 foot went on. I heard boom. I was like, shit. I hopped off, didn't break any further, just made like a little crack. And then, I switched the table around so nobody would see it like a little kid, right? My sister-in-law's clean. She's like, there's a crack in the table. What happened to the table? I was like, well, the table can't hold over 200 pounds. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
She ratted you out, didn't she?
No, she had no clue. I ratted myself out after because, dude, I was upstairs and I heard her tell my wife, and I just started laughing. Like, what are you laughing at? And I'm like, I wasn't going to tell you.
It must have been one of the dogs.
Yeah, it was one of the dogs. Yeah. Mike D, what you got?
But you remember, and I kind of like based the name off of. I used to play World of Warcraft and shit like that, so I kind of based one of my characters off of this one. Remember Lothar, the Hill People?
I don't remember that one.
No,
Was that Mike Myers?
That was another Mike Myers one, and he would come on. He was usually like running through like some kind of forest or something like that. They had a theme song. I can't remember what it was, and he would gather around like with him and his like other tribes members, and they would just bullshit about their wives and how hard their lives were and stuff like that, and then talk about battle and their glorious victories and stuff. For I am Lothar of the Hill People.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird one. Yeah, it's gonna be a weird one.
Yeah.
I'm hit or miss.
That was
with
around
Mike
for
Myers.
a while.
I'm hit or miss with Mike.
Yeah,
Myers.
so am I.
How about Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, Eddie Murphy?
Oh yeah,
which a total parody of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. But he would come in.
That's when it was just so good.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Yeah,
It was unfiltered. So he would come in, he would rob stuff, and he'd always be hiding from the landlord. The landlord's trying to get the rent. Listen, kids, this is what happens. It's fucking hilarious.
And then he would he bring like a sign down? He would have the word over there, like
I think
jail,
so.
and then he would break it down with the meaning. This is what this word means. So.
Yeah, classic Eddie Murphy stuff. What you got, Damo?
Yeah, when he came back, I don't remember whenever that was, a couple years ago. He was a guest host. It was like the first time he was back since he was originally on the show. He reprised that role, and it was like all about like gentrification in neighborhoods. Geez. It was kind of funny. But yeah, for my pick, I got remember Goat Boy, Jim
Adam
Brewer.
Sandler or no?
Yeah, no, Jim Brewer.
Jim Brewer. Nah,
I know the name. I don't remember it too much.
Yeah, he was basically a goat man, and he would just talk and sound like a goat. It's just a stupid skit, but definitely like a memorable character.
Yeah, I'm hot or cold with him too. The Jim Brewer. I'm hot. Some stuff I like, some stuff I'm like, But
I've seen his stand up. He's definitely good stand up. I mean, I haven't seen him in years. But
he's like a metal guy, right? He does all the metal stand up stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I've seen him maybe like 4 times, I think.
That whole stoner thing's just like a whole shtick he does. Like that's not even him. Like I heard he's not even a smoker or a drinker or anything.
No.
It makes him a good actor.
Yeah,
right. Because he was dead. What's the name? What was that? Half Baked. Oh,
Half Baked. Yes,
hilarious.
Great movie.
Yeah,
hilarious. Mike D, what you got?
I'm going to go back, and I don't know if you guys remember this. You know what? Screw this. Let's get it out of the way. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way because I know how much we love this one out of Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you would think, I don't know, at least me being like a metalhead rock guy, I would like Wayne's World. But to me, it was kind of like it had the opposite effect. It was like more of like it detracted.
Yeah.
Right.
So back then it was just like another thing for, people who listen to club music to make fun of like metalheads with. Look at Wayne and Garth over there.
It gave him ammo. Yeah.
And even like you watch the skits and it really was kind of like making fun of metalheads more than it was, going along with it.
Yeah.
I liked it when it first came out. I liked it. And then I quickly felt the way that you do when I first started getting hit with all those jokes and everything. But lately it's like I'm kind of over it.
I'm over it, but
it
it's
doesn't
like
bother me now. But I
just don't think it was funny. It's just
at that time it was them, it was Bill and Ted, it was Beavis and Butthead. I just fucking hated
you were getting hit with all three.
Beavis and Butthead was great.
Yeah, but that's good ammo though, right? So
that's what it is. Like you like it at first, and then once they start using it against you, it's like fucking asshole.
You're like, wait, they're mocking me.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're easily the biggest one, the biggest characters.
Yeah. They really never did nothing for me. Maybe when it first came out, I kind of liked it. I never really. I seen the movies and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
Okay, I got one here. Gene Frankel. Will Ferrell.
Gene Franco.
It's the
Yeah,
Blue
yeah,
Oyster.
yeah.
It's the Blue Oyster Cult in the studio.
Yeah. The
Fucking
cowbell.
The cowbell. Everybody knows the cowbell. I didn't know his name till recently, but I remember. You know the character when you see him. You know the character. And Christopher Walken was the producer. Was he Bruce Dickinson? Was it Bruce Dickinson? I think it was Bruce Dickinson. I'm Bruce Dickinson. World-renowned producer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cowbell, man. Everybody knows the cowbell. And guess what? That probably spiked up some sales for that song also. You know? It definitely did.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is it is a great song. It really is. What do you got, Damo?
Well, I guess next to Wayne and Garth, I think I don't know who's the most popular, but they're pretty damn close. As I would say, probably the Blues Brothers.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, I have not seen the movie.
Really?
And,
I haven't seen that in years.
I don't remember much of the skit, but that's just how
you know it's not that it was funny.
The soundtrack was fun.
They were super talented. Like you hear John Belushi sing, you're like, what the fuck? Really good.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch it.
And then they go
listen to the soundtrack.
John Goodman,
man. That was a fun soundtrack.
Yeah.
Well, the soundtrack for the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, it was pretty good for what it was.
Yeah, and like I said, John Goodman later on, I think, got together with Jim. Was it Jim Belushi? I think Jim Belushi. Yeah. Yeah, so that's crazy. What you got, Mike Ding?
Oh man, you're back to me already.
You should know it's coming.
I'm running out over it.
Jesus.
Do you remember the tune system, the driving cat? And it was just it was so stupid. And you just cat driving around. I think he would just always get into an accident.
Right.
Tune system, the driving cat, something like that.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Oh my!
And they made like a bunch of them. They were goofy.
They did. Yeah. Yeah. They're like shorts.
Okay, so I got one. And you know who he reminds me of just because the way he talks. What's that guy that gets on your nerves that's going to jail now, Mike? That has Chelsea. What the hell's the guy? The guy with the family.
The guy with the family.
The blonde hair guy.
That narrows it down.
Oh, I know who you. Crisley. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah. What's his name?
Crisley.
Crisley.
Can't think of his first name.
Whatever they are.
Yes. Okay, the Crisleys. Yeah.
This guy reminds me of that.
I know. I know exactly who you mean.
Stuart Smalley.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Dude, wow. Before he even talks, I'm laughing. It's
I gotta look this
Al
guy
Franken.
up. Yeah.
Is that who played him? Al Franken?
That was a funny character, man.
You look in the mirror.
Yeah. Or they had Michael Jordan on and
oh my god,
golly,
the Jordan one, they're breaking character. They're trying to break character, and Jordan's like just repeating, trying to get the motivational speech. Yeah, that's a for you. Just look, you don't have to even do anything. I'm laughing before it even fucking starts.
Yeah.
What you got, Damo?
Debbie Downer.
Oh, that's a good one. It's the ending of it that's always good.
Rachel Dratch, I think her name was. Yeah.
I don't know if I remember that.
The scenes were always like, they're at a party, everybody's in a good mood, and people are having a conversation, everything's lighthearted, and then she has to come in and say something really negative and bring the mood down. And then every time she would look into the camera, making expression like that, and you always hear wah, wah.
yeah, like a game show. Yeah, everybody's upbeat, and then she would come up with something fucking, just to ruin the whole thing.
Yeah,
was funny. I thought it was funny. Mike D, what you got?
Let's go. This is probably one of my favorite ones too. It was the Christopher Walken Celebrity Psychic Friends Network. And I think it was a Jay Moyer that played Christopher Walken's, I think.
Right.
And
yeah,
he did this like almost spot on interpretation. It's like, I could be in your living room right now talking to you if you donate money. And he had this whole thing down. And I think he would have like, what's her name? They had someone as what was the other
Jackie
girl that used to do
Stallone?
this? Like,
Jackie Stallone?
was it? Did they have somebody as her too?
I don't know. I knew there was
No,
Cleo.
it
Remember
was
Cleo? What was her name?
Cleo.
Cleo?
Maybe that was it. Yeah, but they had a few different people on it. Oh, what's his name? That Crispin Glover was on there. Someone like dressed like him.
Oh, I don't know.
Crispin Glover from Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. He's a strange one, man.
yeah, yeah. He's definitely up there.
If you ever get a chance, look up his music back from like, oh my god, late '80s too. It's pretty bizarre. Maybe around from that time or maybe early '90s.
And he's serious.
He put out a whole album. It's weird.
I think he's serious.
It's fucking out there. I think so too. At first, I thought it was a joke, and I was like, it was so weird. I couldn't turn away from it. I just had to go stay in for more.
Yeah, he's.
I'm not saying it was good,
dude. Yeah,
yeah. So, yeah, I'm pretty much. I mean, for me, that's pretty much my loose list. But I do want to throw up the one character I just didn't get, and it would be fucking weird to me, was the Pat character. That was just fucking.
Yeah, Pat. I forgot about Pat.
The hair.
Well, you didn't know what Pat was. That was the whole thing.
Yeah,
that was the
I
whole
guess.
mystery.
Yeah, that was the whole mystery. But it was
kind
like,
of reminds you of like a garbage pail kid almost.
Yeah, right.
Always sniffling.
I kind of got a kick out of the cheerleaders. I did get a kick out of them though.
Yeah,
if I remember
the cheerleaders,
Michelle used to
Opera
like
Man.
You know what?
I remember Opera Man.
Dane, I'm so hit or miss with Adam Sandler. It's either I love it or it's annoying. And the Opera Man thing was just annoying to me. It was funny for a second. Maybe then I was just I'm fucking annoyed.
Do you remember one of my favorite moments? You remember was it Faith No More was on there?
No.
And they were the guest musicians one night, and they did two songs. I remember they came out. And I think they did Epic first, and Patton was in the. Remember the fan they used to have going back around the stage. Patton was like in the fan, like, going around.
Crazy.
Yeah, he was pretty warped on there.
Yeah.
Damo, you got anything else for us?
How about Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Was
yes,
that like
I do.
You would see like the letter, almost like a Hallmark kind of commercial or something? It was weird. Like
it was. You just heard the guy's voice.
I had a book of them.
Dude, I just that would be cool to see, because I just found a website and it has like the 10 most amazing ones, and I'll just read one I think is kind of goofy. If I ever get real rich, I hope I'm not real mean to poor people like I am now.
That's horrible. So it's a bunch of goofy quotes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they would have this like ambient music in the background.
Yeah.
Deep Thoughts for Jack Handy.
Yeah, it's like real kind of like ethereal music, like yoga type music or some shit like that, But they were so stupid.
Yeah. Mike D, anything to wrap up with?
I think that's it, bud. I think that's it.
Damo, any last words? Any other quotes you want to give? I think you should read at least one more quote on our way out. Can you find another one from the book?
One more Jack Handy quote.
Let's hear another Jack.
We're gonna end it with a Jack Handy quote.
All right, let me just skim through. I'll find a good one. To me, boxing is like a ballet, except there's no music, no choreography, and the dancers hit each other.
Well, there you have it. Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. We'll see you next week.